Hey everyone, this is Just Being Me coming to you with another video. As I had mentioned in my previous video, if you have not already watched, please go and catch that video. And pretty much it was a sneak peek of the upcoming season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. But I also mentioned at the end of that video that I probably would come back with another video in reference to the topic that is within the thumbnail, in reference to the young lady that unalived her husband via Facebook. Now, I know speakers, we normally don't get into all of that, but I thought it was kind of important to kind of touch on it a little bit because, of course, of course, we like our Kiki and we like to give a breakdown on reality TV. But also, there is some very disturbing things that go on daily around us that sometimes we need to kind of look, at a little bit more. So I decided that, I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit. Now, before I start, please, everyone, please go ahead and like and subscribe, turn on those notification bells in case you haven't already, because as you can see, you never know when another video is uploaded. And of course, you would always want to be the first to be notified. So let's get into it. So pretty much I first seen the story on Instagram. I saw it on Facebook, and it is very, very disturbing. As I was saying, it's disturbing. But anywho, I am gonna read a little bit of what I saw. Now I got the information from the neighborhood talk, and what I'm gonna do is kind of give a little background on the story to catch you up if you have not already saw it, and then I'll touch on what I feel some important topics in reference to it. Now, basically, what the headline says is Mississippi woman Khadijah Brown goes live to record her husband leaving her. They ended up getting into an argument and she powed and unalived him, and she is hit with the unaliving charge. Now, I also kind of went ahead and read it was a news channel that also had covered it to kind of give you a little bit more background. Now I have, recently found out she is a resident of Columbia, Mississippi. I think Columbus, Mississippi. It's in Laudies County, Mississippi. A Mississippi woman is in custody after authorities believe she unalived her husband on Facebook Live. The Loudoun County Sheriff said the deputies responded to a DV call Saturday morning on the 500 block of Green Tree Drive. They arrested Khadijah Michelle Brown, 28, after believing she powed and unalived her husband. Authorities said the 28-year-old victim passed from the single pow wound and was pronounced unalived on the scene. Investigators believe the couple were involved in an argument that turned physical, and the actual incident was captured Facebook Live. Now, just taking a look here at the story, once I, saw her name or however, I did go and look on her Facebook just to kind of do a little background of research to see if it kind of gave you or shed any light, like how did this start, where did this begin, and just trying to get some information. Now, again, the first thing it disturbed me is you did all of this on Facebook. Now, I know social media has become an outlet for people and however, but to me, social media is not the place that I go and share my relationship issues or any of that. I just don't go to Facebook. And after taking a look at some prior posts that she made leading up to the unaliving on yesterday morning, she had made posts, and I don't want to show those posts, the same as I didn't really want to share the neighborhood talk posts because YouTube has been tripping and I ain't for the trimming of the videos. I went through enough of that last week. But if you want to see the full video as well as read up, it is on the neighborhood talk on Instagram. Now, and then I'm pretty sure you could find this story all over social media because everyone has been posting it. But anywho, I went and took a look at her Facebook page, and a couple of days ago, she made a post where she tagged this woman, had a picture up there that he was dealing with the woman. Then it was another post tagging and saying that he dealt with, I guess, clients or whatever that he worked with at his job. Then I saw another post where she kind of made a post and said that her husband was bisexual. I don't know. TMI for me, in reference to this is your husband and this is what you decide to do. But anywho, so just going by looking at it, as well as I did see photos of her and him. They have 4 children together, small children at that. And it's just sad. And again, my heart goes out to his family as even well. My heart goes out to her family as well, and and those children, because now you have 4 children that one parent is going to be locked up and the other parent is unalived. I mean, it's just a bit much for those children to have to go through at such an early age. Now, again, this all happened around 6 a.m. that morning. And on the video, you can hear where her mom, she must have called her mom because her mom was in the background. And she clearly says, y'all got me out of my bed at 6 a.m., for all of this. She was there trying to calm the situation down. They was kind of going back and forth. You could hear him saying over and over, keep your hands off me. Don't touch me. Keep your hands off. Also, you could hear her saying, what's the conversation that you need to have? What is the conversation? I don't know what they was talking about, but you could also hear him saying, at first he was saying, I'm just trying to get my stuff and leave, like he was actually leaving. But then I also heard him say, I have to get ready for work. So I don't know if he was packing up his stuff and planning not to return. I'm not really sure. But either way, neither here nor there. You didn't hear her say anything like he was beating her or anything. Now, he may have been like, maybe pushing her arms or however it may go, because you could hear him clearly saying, keep your hands off me. He even said, I'm going to call my cousin to come over here if you don't keep your hands off me. Now, at this point, I'm not going to say what shoulda, coulda, woulda happened, because of course it went the way it went. What I am going to say is, number one, is the very, very disturbing, because did anyone, being that it's 6 a.m., so I'm assuming the children were in the next room. Did anyone take these children in consideration that was in the other room? Number one. Number two, you're on Facebook Live. So pretty much this is an open and closed case, because you pretty much recorded all the evidence that they needed yourself. You pretty much incriminated yourself. Now, again, I'm not taking up for her. I don't, because like I said, I don't know the full story or situation of what happened. I only know what she posted leading up to this. And I'm going to say this: cheating, bisexual, sleeping with client, however it may go, none of it was, none of it mean what you did. It should never added up to that. Let's just put that out there. But we also going to recognize that mental health is real. Mental health is real. Now, I even went over to his page where I've seen several posts of him shouting her out, and that's his queen and his best friend. He has several pictures on there with his children. So at some point, it seems as though they were happy. I don't know. Again, my whole point in shedding some light on this is because, as we've seen in the last couple of days, mistresses coming out, babies being born, by other women. We see where, women have been hurt from dealing with, spouses that was unfaithful, that are narcissists. We've been seeing that a lot in reality TV and everyday life, however it may go. And we have to sit up here and we have to normalize taking other people's feelings into consideration. We have to. And I always said that If you might even heard me say it on my videos, male handles things with such grace because I don't know if I could do that. I say that, but I also have kids. So yeah, and then I'm gonna take that back because you never know what you would do. Because speaking and coming from someone that has been in a relationship with a narcissist, when I tell you it was almost having to, when it was over, it was almost like having to be reborn again. I can only imagine what someone that has been temporarily paralyzed or anything have to go through, and they have to learn how to walk again or talk again or any of that, because literally that's what I felt like in my life. I felt as though I had to really get my whole life back in order because this person has sucked everything out of me that could just be sucked out. I had then pretty much alienated myself. I worked, kids. That's it. Nothing extra on the outside. My whole world revolved around what I had going on in my house because I'm walking on eggshells to be assured that this person I always tend to try to make happy. But what you fail to realize is nothing you can do will ever make them happy. You're just spinning your wheels. And then when it comes to that breaking point, because that breaking point does come, you basically you can bow out and walk away, or you can wind up in situations like this. And again, I don't know their background. I don't know what led up to her taking it this far, but I do know you never know what no one is going through. I live here in Dallas. Traffic is crazy, and you hear about a road rage every day almost. You can't pay me to blow the horn at nobody here in Dallas at all. And I used to tell my kids that you may think you just blowing the horn just to tell them to get out the way, but to them, you don't know what they've been through. And that could be enough for them just to, basically just cause them nothing, but it's a trigger and they just gone off. Temporarily insanity. It's real. It is real. So again, when you dealing with people, whether you know them or whether you don't, you have to take into consideration you don't know what that person is going through. And it's never an excuse for no one to treat someone ugly because they having a bad day, but everybody's mind don't click that way. I know that if it's raining too hard or I catch a flat tire, I know that I can't come and go and knock my neighbor out because I think you was the one that may have put that nail on that ground and now my tire flat and I'm having to change a flat tire in the rain. Using that as an example. But you can't just you can't do that. But everybody's mind is not at that level. It's not stable. It is people that is walking around here that smile every day, that you work with, live with, and everything else that is going through a mental breakdown and hiding it behind that beautiful smile. And again, we don't know what people are going through. So saying that to say, again, I don't know what this young lady was going through prior to. And again, no reason, no excuse for you to do what you did. Because if you felt that he was any of the things that you say it, leave. Leave. Especially if it had gotten to the point of where you took it. It seems as though he was trying to remove himself, but it's also like a situation where you feel as you've given your all, you did this and you did that, and I just can't understand how he hurt me. How you gonna leave me after I done did XYZ and I done been there for you and I gave my life to you and I did this and I did that? It's a very hurtful feeling. Been there, done that too. But guess what? We have to be enough to say it is enough. We have to be able to recognize when enough is enough. Don't allow it to get to where this ended up, to where you so broke down mentally that you click. Remove yourself. If you know that therapy is not going to help your situation, remove yourself from the situation. If you feel that this person is no longer making you happy anymore, if you feel like they're not satisfying you anymore, if you feel as though you need to be with somebody else, or however it may go, do that. But detach yourself from who you with. Don't stop nobody else's life because you want to have your cake and eat it too, and then be mad when they respond in a way that you wasn't expecting. Again, I'm not saying that she was, because I don't even know what this situation is. My whole point of this whole video is people's mental state, and you can't play with everybody's feelings, is my point. You can't. I've sat there and I thought about the situation with the Latasha Scott. And I was like, Lord, that lady going through a lot. You got you and your sister is beefing behind alleged $30,000 being stolen. You're falling out with the group that you were a part of for years. Then you got, I'm assuming you pretty much got the record deal, but on top of that, you got this woman here that is saying that she has been with your husband for over 5 years. She didn't came out with text messages. She didn't came out with 3 ABs, well, 2 ABs and 1 miscarriage. She didn't set up here and said and showed receipts for everything your husband has told and promised her for the last 5 years. Now, a person that ain't sane, you don't know what they would do. You really don't know. You don't know, because it's a lot. That's a lot to take in. And then everything is playing out on social media. Like, you living your life the best that you can, but everything is the embarrassment. It's all of that you having to endure, and you're one person in this one mind. On top of, you still have to work. So now you trying to work around all of this mess that's been created around you, and then still look up in this person's face every day as if everything is okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I'm going to say this, man and or woman, if that person is not pleasing you and you feel the need to step out, out. If therapy can't help your situation and you know that it is over, leave before it get to something such as this. Before it gets something to here, you need to leave. Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't know. This don't sound like one argument turned into powing. This sound like it's been some built up things that may have been going on. And again, I don't know if this young man was cheating. I don't know if this young man was bisexual. I don't know anything about these people. I'm just pretty much using their story as a reference that you cannot play with everybody's feelings and think it's okay. You can't. Everybody's mind ain't clicking. Everybody, ain't thinking with that full deck. And it's not to call them crazy. It's to call a certain things by, it's called emotions. Emotions. I'm gonna be the first one to say, no, I ain't never unalive nobody. I ain't tried to. But I can tell you one thing, I did a lot of things out of emotion that I would definitely be even too ashamed to tell you or anybody or any of my other children. But I did it because I was so clouded by hurt. And I say it all the time. Any woman that has been with a narcissistic person, they will make you lose your mind temporarily, and pray to God it don't be permanently. Because some people go through situations and they never fully heal. It's by the grace of God that some people, such as myself, thank you, Jesus, every day. Do you not know it's certain songs I don't listen to on the radio because it remind me of my past? I can't even listen to them because I don't want to hear nothing about that time period in my life when it was so dark that I might as well should have moved in Alaska in November when it's always dark, because that's what it felt like in my life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And by the grace of God, yeah, I was able to pick myself up and move around. And then when I did, and I guess that is so what I can relate to a lot of, women's situation. When I did remove myself from a bad situation, oh boy, somebody tried to unalive me because no longer they had that control. So they tried to unalive me. They tried to send me to jail. They tried to, all kind of things just to gain control. Went around and similar to what Mel went through, tried to tell my friends certain things about me to make people hate me, when all along, you just doing this because I no longer want you and I'm no longer under that spell. And I thank God that I didn't end up like this young lady here, out of my mind, because it's a many a days that I could have, it's a many a days. And I just thank God for, me always taking my children in consideration, and me knowing God to know that that ain't the answer. But we have to think about so many other people in this world that don't have that relationship with God, or don't have that strong mindset to say, okay, I have 4 beautiful children. I can't do this. I'm going to just leave. Some people are not strong enough for that. And again, I don't know these people's situation, because again, no excuse was a good excuse for you to take his life, because not only did you take his, but you took a part of your children's life. You're not going to be there. He's not going to be there. Now what? We have to get back to loving ourselves. We have to. It's 2023, and I say it all the time. Why is people still cheating in 2023? I have no clue. 2023, normalize leaving before you, do all the extra. Normalize leaving. Go ahead. It's hard sometimes, but to me, once you step out, you've already made pretty much the decision anyway. It's 2023. You got people, wives and husbands, that tend to find girlfriends and do this and do that. It's 2023. Give people an option of what they want to do. If they want to sit up here and allow you to go fool with another woman and they fool with another man, or they bring somebody, give that option. Better yet, don't get married. These people love being married, but don't love the fact of what comes with marriage. I'm gonna say it again. People love marriage and say, I'm married, but don't love the things that come with marriage. Like every day ain't gonna be peaches and cream. Like every day ain't gonna be a walk in the park. Avant said it best. Will you love me when it hurts? When you love me when I'm sick and I'm down? Will you love me when I got to take months off of work because my illness won't let me leave the house? Will you love me, through it all, through struggles, pains? They don't know nothing about that. It's just the first sign of something ain't right. Oh, let me go find somebody that can do this. But, normalize loving yourself enough to know when it's enough. And that probably can prevent a lot of things that we are seeing out here. And it's easier said than done, because I know it took me a minute to get it. And again, by the grace of God, I'm not in this situation. But before we can hurry up and say, what kind of woman is she? Think about yourself first and ask yourself, have you ever been in anything close to this? And I'm think outside the box, because again, we don't know the full story. We know what she posted, but we don't know the full story. And again, no good excuse for what took place, but we also can't ignore the fact that mental health is real. Mental health is real. Mental breakdown is real. Nervous breakdowns, real. So that's all I had. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because this is very disturbing, especially when you think about the 4 children that is going to suffer and hurt the most because they have lost both of their parents. We're talking about a woman that, I guess, trying to take situations in her own hands, or however, or let her emotions or whatever she was going through get the best of her. And now your life is pretty much over. You incriminated yourself for one on Facebook. And that's another thing. Leave your marriage, your relationship should never be discussed on a social media platform. I mean, that's a bit much. These people on these social media platforms could care less what you going through. Oh, I'm praying for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm this. Yeah, right. Scroll on to the next one. Come on. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. But again, my prayers go out to that young man's family as well as her family, because they're going to be affected as well. And especially my heart goes out to those 4 children. And I just pray that, you know, peace or something comes out of this. But that's all I had. Just wanted to touch base with my speakers because you know what, y'all, call this a vent session. I'm sorry. This is a vent session because it just really bothered me. So I hope y'all listened and liked the video. Leave your comments down below. Let me know how you feel about all of this. I mean, it is a bit much, and I just had to vent about it. Just, yeah. So bear with me, y'all, because I know this is way different than what we normally do. But I just had to bring some awareness to this because it's sad. But again, y'all, that is it for the evening. Again, I am going to be on the watch out for those kids on tomorrow. See where will Mel have them or Martell. But again, thank each and every one of you. Love you. And till next time.